My name is Tim Robinson. I'm the President and CEO of Addiction Recovery Care and a founding member of RECON Kentucky, a consortium for recovery that brings together stakeholders from all parts of the recovery system. RECON Kentucky wanted to establish the Kentucky Recovery Hall of Fame to recognize individuals in long-term recovery and those who have taken a leading role in addressing Kentucky's addiction crisis. Our first ever inductees are accomplished and inspiring leaders in the long-time fight against addiction. And while they come from different backgrounds, both are giving hope to Kentuckians living with substance use disorder. I'm excited to announce the 2021 inaugural Recovery Hall of Fame inductees, Jay Davidson of the Healing Place and Congressman Hal Rogers. Jay's story is incredible. His personal experience with alcohol use disorder became an opportunity to transform a small homeless shelter into a nationally recognized treatment and recovery program, which now has helped thousands of men and women turn their lives around. And the Healing Place and their model has now been replicated across the country. And 5th District Congressman Hal Rogers was one of the first in Washington, D.C. to recognize the threat of addiction. And many have called him the Paul Revere of the national substance abuse and opioid problem. And his work combating substance use through public policy and legislation has been celebrated across this country. Back in 2003, Congressman Rogers launched Operation Unite, a nationally recognized organization that has been leading the effort in treatment, prevention, and education, and have been incredible with their work empowering community leaders to address the social determinants of substance use disorder. And finally, Operation Unite and Congressman Rogers as a convener created and launched the National Prescription Drug and Heroin Conference, the largest gathering of recovery leaders that happens every year in our country. Because of their contributions and life's work, more Kentuckians are finding a path to long-term recovery, and that's something that we all should celebrate. I hope you'll join me in congratulating Jay Davidson and Congressman Rogers. Thank you for all you do in support of those in long-term recovery.
Hi, my name is Beth Davidson, and I'm Vice President of Workforce Development at the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. The Kentucky Chamber is proud to partner with RECON Kentucky to recognize Kentucky's leaders in substance use treatment, prevention, and long-term recovery. Substance use has majorly impacted our families, communities, and our workforce. That's why the Chamber is encouraging second chances and more opportunities for Kentuckians to pursue fair chance employment. Substance use is not only a health care and criminal justice issue, it's an economic one as well. To help more Kentuckians reach long-term recovery, individuals transitioning out of the treatment and criminal justice system need access to job training and meaningful employment. We know that a strong workforce means a stronger Kentucky, and that begins with a recovery-friendly business environment across the state. By working together, we can truly stop the cycle of addiction. We're proud of the progress we've made, the lives saved, and those who are helping us make a difference in our fight.
Hello, I'm Van Ingram, Executive Director of the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy. The Beshear administration recognizes the importance of long-term recovery and is committed to removing barriers to success. We're committed to programs like SITE, the Strategic Initiative for Transformational Employment. This program places job specialists in each of our career centers, focused solely on linking people in recovery with meaningful work. The state has also placed a high priority in supporting safe and sober housing, such as Oxford House. Finally, we've established a transportation system whereby criminal justice-involved persons can have reliable transportation to attend substance use disorder treatment appointments. These are just 3 of the dozens of projects the state's involved in to reduce the barriers to success and recovery. On a personal note, I want to congratulate my friend Jay Davidson, a pioneer in the recovery field, as well as Congressman Hal Rogers, whose vision going all the way back to 2003 when he and others created Operation Unite, a program that is a national model for communities wanting to address the addiction crisis.
Hello to all my friends at the Kentucky Chamber and RECON Kentucky. I'm humbled by your desire to honor me as one of the first members of the new Kentucky Recovery Hall of Fame. alongside my friend, Jay Davidson from the Healing Place. It takes all of us working together to curb the deadly tide of drug abuse in America. I applaud you for hosting this statewide opioid summit and taking time to focus on the epidemic that has skyrocketed in the midst of the pandemic. In addition to the Kentuckians that we lost to COVID, we also had a record number of deadly overdoses in 2020. According to the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy, nearly 2,000 Kentuckians died of an opioid overdose last year. That's the highest number in our state's history. So we can't rest. We must remain vigilant in our life-saving work. Thankfully, in eastern Kentucky, we already have a comprehensive plan that works. In 2003, eastern Kentucky was dubbed the nation's painkiller capital. That's when I launched Operation Unite, a grassroots organization focused on law enforcement, treatment, and education. Unite's comprehensive work is now a national model for success. In fact, just before the pandemic began, some eastern Kentucky counties had the largest decline in drug overdose mortality rates in the nation. The Centers for Disease Control recently funded a study through the University of Kentucky's Center of Excellence in Rural Health and the Washington Center at the University of Chicago to study why we were seeing a declining rate of drug overdose deaths over the last decade, while neighboring states were seeing dramatic increases. I'm incredibly proud to say that out of the top 20 counties nationally with the largest decline in drug overdose deaths, 14 of those counties were in eastern Kentucky. It looks to me like we need a new name. Instead of being the painkiller capital, we should be the recovery capital. We decided nearly 20 years ago to lay our problems on the table, stop sweeping them under the rug. We've broken down the silos between law enforcement, treatment, and education, and we made a way where there seemed to be no way. As long as we are living and working together, there is hope abundant. So keep up the good work and take heart. We are making a difference together. Thank you. Godspeed.
Hi, my name is Jay Davidson. I'm the executive chairman of the Healing Place, and I am truly honored and humbled to be inducted into the Kentucky Recovery Hall of Fame. Well, I have to be honest with everyone because in 1991, I graduated from Kent School with my master's in social work, thinking I was going to do psychotherapy for adults down in Elizabethtown in Radcliffe, Kentucky. My higher power had other plans. And the doctors of the Jefferson County Medical Society Outreach Program, that's a long name for the Morgan Center that they were operating, needed an executive director. And they looked at my resume and saw that I had 20 years of experience in the military, and they figured I could probably run a shelter. Now, frankly, I knew absolutely nothing about recovery models, treatment models. I had 8 years of sobriety at that point, but that's about all I knew, and I didn't know anything about homelessness. And so I walk into this shelter of 80 men, and oh my gosh, I realized that we're gonna have to do something different because everything else in town wasn't working for them, and we're gonna have to do something different. But through trial and error, mistakes, I made plenty of mistakes, but was able to start building a social model recovery program. Started out with 80 men in the building and 10 men in the recovery program. For me, long-term recovery means that an alcoholic or addict can live a sober, meaningful, productive life. Long-term recovery provides the alcoholic and addict the opportunity to maximize the fantastic opportunities of family and jobs. The alcoholic and addict in recovery becomes the best employee, the best mother, father, son, or daughter, the best volunteer, the best person giving back to the community, and really a really positive role model for the community to see what recovery looks like. That's why I think long-term recovery is so essential to the community at large and to the state of Kentucky. Kentucky is getting a better picture of what recovery looks like, and it's going to help reduce some of the stigma around addiction. The elevator pitch for the Healing Place is we do one thing and we do it well, and that is we equip alcoholics and addicts with the tools from a 12-step program and use that practical experience dealing with life challenges while they're here through that 6 to 9 month program, so they have living experience on how to deal with those life situations in a responsible way, so that when they leave the Healing Place and a life smacks them in the face, they'll revert not to drugs and alcohol, but revert to their support group, their sponsor, ask for help, which alcoholics and addicts don't like to do. Kentucky leads the way in their ability to work on the stigma of addiction. You know, for a long time, you didn't want to walk into an employer's office and say, I'm a recovering alcoholic. And all of a sudden, the wall goes up and there's stigma there, and okay, scratch that resume. But now when you say I'm in long-term recovery, I said, oh, okay. Okay, that sounds real positive. And I said, yeah, I'm now a homeowner, and I just bought my new car, and all my bills are paid, and now I'm trying to expand my horizons, and I think I can be a good employee for you. I'm really excited about this new generation of men and women getting into the field. They're getting into treatment, they're getting into advocacy, they're getting into politics, and they're all talking about their own recovery and how they can better help the country understand about addiction, and how they can better advocate for more services and more support.